On Friday, we all witnessed the FIFA 2026 World Cup final draw. And that event took place at the Kennedy Center inside Washington, D.C. The Black Stars of Ghana got to know the opponents or the countries or the teams they'll be facing at the 23rd edition of the FIFA World Cup, to be hosted by Mexico, Canada, and the USA.
Sporty FM.
So the Black Stars have been drawn in Group L, together with the Red Tide, La Maria Roja, the Red Tide of Panama. You can also call them the Canal Men, the Los Canaleros of Panama. The Three Lions of England, and the Kukachi, the checkered ones of Croatia. Ladies and gentlemen, when I saw the draw, I said, wow, this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Sporty FM.
You see, this morning, I am here to deliver this sermon just to caution Ghanaians as to what we should expect from our team and from this World Cup. Now, what I would say this morning is that let us be modest with our expectations as far as this World Cup is concerned. Let us be very, very modest with our expectations. And these are the reasons. One, Ghana finds itself in a group where we are the lowest ranked in terms of FIFA ranking. And we are the lowest ranked team in that group for a reason. Our performances have not put us up there. That is one. So England coming as number 4, Croatia coming as number 10, the Canal Men, Panama, coming as number 30. And we find ourselves in the 70s. Clearly, our FIFA ranking doesn't help us. Our FIFA ranking tells a story of where the Black Stars are presently. 2, all our World Cup appearances, this will be the weakest team will be taken to the World Cup. From 2006 to 2010 to 2022 to 2014 to 2022, this undoubtedly will be the weakest team Ghana will be sending to the World Cup. You can check. Undoubtedly, this would be the weakest squad Ghana will be sending to the World Cup. Again, when you look at the opponents we are coming up against, look, the Three Lions of England, they can assemble 3 different squads and still do well at the tournament. Now you look at the Three Lions. At the last World Cup in Qatar, they were kicked out at the quarter-final stage. They moved on to the Euros. They made it to the finals, they couldn't win it. Made it to another Euros finals, they couldn't win it. Clearly, when you look at the Three Lions, they are a team on the ascendancy. At the World Cup, we all know the quality they had. Previous World Cup, since 2006, we all know the quality they had. But the reason why the Three Lions consistently struggled was coaching. Once upon a time, they brought Sven-Göran Eriksson, they brought Fabio Capello, they gambled with Roy Hodgson, they brought in Big Sam, who lasted a few days, was replaced by Southgate. Clearly, the problem for the Three Lions had always been coaching. So back-to-back Euro finals, it was Gareth Southgate. Now, Gareth Southgate managed to bring them to a level where we saw a bit of consistency with the Three Lions. Now, they have moved on to bring in a manager who has wins under his belt, who knows how to win titles under his belt. So Thomas Tuchel is the key cog in that Three Lions squad that is expected to make things happen for them. In the qualifiers, watch them. They scored 22 goals. They conceded 0. They swept aside every team they met. In the qualifiers, the 3 Lions of England are no pushovers. Forget about and we are rivals and we are rivalry. Rivalry where? Where is the rivalry? What is the rivalry between England and us? In terms of quality, player quality, where do we rank? We are nowhere close to England in terms of player quality. Be it goalkeeping, defense, midfield, attack, nowhere. And that is why I keep saying that, look, this will be the first time Ghana will be parading the squad at the World Cup. That is not as strong as the previous squads we've taken to the World Cup. We must be modest with our expectations. Again, you look at Croatia. Croatia is a team that has been to back-to-back semi-finals at the World Cup. 1 final berth, 1 semi-final appearance, finishing 3rd in the process. They have 1 coach in Zlatko Dalic, who's been with this team since 2017. He's overseen their progress all these years since 2017. A proper championship coach. A coach who knows how to play tournaments. When you mention Croatia, all I hear is, oh, they have old men. Luka Modric. Yes, Luka Modric is 40. Perisic is 36. Yes. Kramaric is 34. Yes. We know. We've heard all of these. But when a coach is able to progress a team, consistently find players to replace aging players, consistently find players to manage the squad and still stay fearful or still have that fear factor, you must be worried. Croatia in the qualifiers, they played 8 games. They won 7, drew 1. Scored 22 goals, conceded 4. Livakovic is still in post for them. A team that know how to organize themselves well during tournaments, Croatia. Even England, their biggest headache in that group is Croatia. I don't see how the Black Stars have a squad or have a coach or have a technical bench that is of superior quality than the Croats. Again, we must be worried. Then we bring in the Canal boys or the Canal men, Los Canaleros of Panama. You see, everybody thinks that Panama will be the whipping boys in the group. But let me remind you that Panama have been to the World Cup before. In 2018, they were in Russia. They lost all 3 games. They played Tunisia in their final game. They lost even that one. So when it comes to playing at the World Cup, they've tasted it before. Panama will not be going to another World Cup to lose all 3 games after their experience from 2018. Now guess what? They have a tactical brain, a coach, Thomas Christiansen, a distinguished attacker by all standards during his playing days, a solid coach, started from Al Jazeera, moved to AEK Lenaka, won the Cyprus League with Apoel, came to Leeds United to replace Gary Monk, moved to Union Saint-Gilloise, and then took over that Panama national team in 2020. He's been with this team since 2020. They were runners-up at the CONCACAF Gold Cup in 2023. CONCACAF Nations League 2024-2025, they were runners-up again. And he's been able to build a team to qualify for the 2025 World Cup. They faced 3 rounds of qualification. In the final round, they were unbeaten as they head past Suriname to qualify for the World Cup. They have quality players in their fold. Alberto Quintero has 140 caps for that team. Very experienced campaigner. And their captain, Anibal Godoy, 150 caps for Panama. Very, very experienced player. There are lots of players playing their trade in North America. So you have players coming from Nacional, Minnesota United, and the like. Until recently, they got a player, Andres Andrade, from LASK in Europe. And then they got one other player, Jose Cordoba, who plays for Norwich. Then Marseille have this player called Amer Murillo. He also plays for Panama. They are not a pushover. They are not a team that will come to the World Cup as if they don't know how to play. And their coach, Christiansen, anybody who knows Christiansen will know that he thrives on this defensive solidity, defensive discipline. When he won the league with Apoel in Cyprus, his team conceded the least number of goals. In fact, they had a record of the most clean sheets that season. Panama will not be pushovers. So if anybody is thinking that Panama is going to be a walk in the park, let us revise our notes again. They have a good blend of experience and youth in their squad, with players who have technical ability and are gifted when it comes to the talent, coupled with a coach who has quality. Look, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of even our coaching department, the three teams we are coming up against, all the three teams have a better coach than the Black Stars. All three teams we are coming up against, from Tuchel to Zlatko Dalic to Thomas Christiansen. Otuado is the coach whose body of work doesn't come anywhere close to any of the coaches. So, ladies and gentlemen, you see, this is not to say Ghana will not go and do well or Ghana cannot do well. I'm just saying that we must be modest with our expectations. I've heard all sorts of things since the draw. And Ghana is going to beat England, and Ghana is going to beat Croatia. Look, do not raise the hopes of Ghanaians high. Let us be modest with our expectations. This is a very short sermon.
This is 40 FM.
We are all Ghanaians. We want to see our Black Stars do well. But there are facts that we cannot overlook. There are issues that we cannot overlook. We want to see, of course, we are Ghanaians. We would love to see the Black Stars go to the World Cup and do what Morocco did. We want to see the Black Stars excel at the tournament. Yes. But we must be cautiously optimistic. That is the sermon I'm delivering this morning. Because the opponents we are coming up against are not going to be pushovers. In terms of quality, in terms of technical direction, in terms of FIFA ranking, in terms of style of play, in terms of ability, these teams seem to be on the high compared to our team. We must be modest with our expectations. I rest my case.